topic of the relationship between Cambodia and China GDP growth. I am Lila and I'll be moderating this session alongside my fellow researchers. We aim to understand how Chinese imports and China's economic condition influence Cambodia's industrial sector. We explore the trade patterns, dependency risk, and policy implications. Let's begin with a look at Cambodia's import behavior. Let's listen to our first speaker, Sula.
Thank you, Lynette. Based on our research, Cambodia imports over 55% of its industrial supply from China, particularly in the raw material or for textiles, construction, and the light manufacturing. So China is the primary source of fabric and intermediate goods, which are crucial for our import sectors. For example, over 90% of fabric used in Cambodia garment industry come from China. This heavy reliance shows that our domestic capacity for production of producing input is very limited. So while this allows Cambodian industries go faster, it also imposes us to external supply chain risks.
Wow, that's interesting. Now let's hear from Nanu. Will you talk about the impact on industrial growth?
Absolutely, this impact has helped Cambodian industrial sector grow. Low-cost machinery from China has allowed small and medium-sized businesses to increase productivity. But here's the issue, the growth is input-driven, not innovation-driven. Our industry mostly focuses on basic manufacturing and assembly. There's limited progress in high-tech production or high-end services. So while we're seeing expansion, it's not necessarily sustainable unless we start developing domestic capabilities.
Now let's listen to our third speaker, Watana. Can you illustrate more about China's GDP influence?
Thank you, Rina. Building on that, let's look at how China GDP directly affects Cambodia industrial output. From 2015 to 2024, we found a strong positive correlation between the two. When China GDP rises, our exports and manufacturing outputs rise too. But during the COVID-19 pandemic, when China GDP dropped to 2.3%, Cambodia industrial growth fell sharply to 0.5%. That's proof how risky we are to external shocks in Chinese economy. The Belt and Road Initiative (BRI) has brought infrastructure and investment, but also increased dependence.
It is a fascinating information, especially regarding to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now let's hear from our fourth and last speaker, which is Charita. And she will be talking about risk and policy implications.
Well, thank you, Linda. This appointment raises important policy concern. If China economic face slowdown or problem, it put Cambodia industrial growth at risk. From supply chains delay to reduce FDI. To ensure long-term stability, Cambodia needs to diversify its trade partner and invest in domestic production capacity. To encouraging innovative building skill and reducing over dependence are essential and step towards sustainable growth. It's not about cutting ties with China, it's about balancing our economy. Thank you.
That is it. Thank you, Charita, for this interesting information. And thank you, everyone, for this insightful discussion. To wrap up this session, I would like to say that China plays a major role in Cambodia's industrial development, but the over-dependence put us at risk when the external shock hits China, and the path forward to enhance domestic capacity and diversity trade. This topic is critical as Cambodia aims to resilience and inclusive growth. Thank you for joining us.